Welcome to the Creatively Performing Arts Podcast. This is the show for anyone ready to get back to the performing arts. You want to sing, you want to act, you want to dance, you want to be creative again? Come on over. I'm Estelle. I'm a singer, actor, performer, beginner voice coach, and I am here to help you get started. You will find beginner singing and performing tips and hear empowering, inspiring interviews with artists that will help you push past your fear and your doubts about performing so you can finally start performing with confidence and singing and dancing and living creatively. You have gifts that you need to grow, use, and share, and the world is waiting for you. I want to be there to help you do that. So let's begin. Hi, welcome back to the Creatively Performing Arts Podcast. We are here with part 2 of my interview with Tallis. If you weren't here last week and you did listen, go back and listen to that episode. It's part 1 of my interview with Tallis. She's a dancer and she has a dance studio as well. And she really just inspires and encourages people, women especially, to embrace their creative talent and to start dancing. And so I would love for you guys to listen to the first part so you have more context. But today we're going to talk even more. You're going to hear the rest of our conversation talking about like pivoting creatively. And I know it's just going to inspire you again to start singing, performing, doing the thing that you know that you have a gifting for. That's what this show is here for, to inspire you, to encourage you every single week so that you know that you are not alone in this journey. We are all here together. Taking those steps to use our creative gifts in the performing arts, especially to start singing, to dance, to write songs, to perform, okay? And I can't wait to give you even more episodes just reflecting on that and giving you more tactical tools and tips. So make sure you also subscribe so that you don't miss out. Actually, this past week, and I can't wait to do an episode to talk about this more, but this past week I went and I did an open mic night, like just spontaneously, because I've been telling you guys like different ways to put yourself out there. Go to an open mic night. And I was like, hold on, I haven't been to an open mic night in a minute actually. So I was like, let me do what I said and, go for it. And I did it, and it was a really, really great experience. I will definitely reflect on that and kind of pull some things out of that I think we can all learn from in another episode. But yeah, I really, really want us to be taking action steps and not just thinking about, oh, I wish I could do this. Oh, I wish I could, learn to sing one day, or I wish I could, etc., etc. No. None of the I wish I coulds, okay? This is like, we're almost at the end of this year, okay? We're taking steps. We're taking action steps, okay? We're taking steps of faith, okay? We are walking boldly. We are not just wishing. We are taking steps, okay? And I really just want to encourage you guys to do that. Like, let's all be doing that. And I know this episode will encourage you. If you know that you are really, really serious, like you are wanting to take intentional steps to start building confidence specifically in your singing voice again. Maybe you used to sing when you were younger. I know what it feels like to want to sing again in front of people as an adult, but maybe you feel frozen. You wish you could audition. You wish you could go to an open mic night, but you are stuck in self-doubt. You don't know where to begin. You don't know how to begin to sing when you feel so little confidence in your voice, in your singing voice, and you want to reconnect with that love for performing and singing, but you just don't have that confidence, and you feel like you don't have that confidence. Trust me, like if you had someone walking beside you, giving you a plan for your voice, a singing plan, so you know how to warm up your voice, you know how to work on your favorite song, you know how to, build that confidence in your singing voice, I would love to work with you. That's why I started beginner voice coaching, right? It's voice lessons online, virtual, so it's very flexible for your schedule, and you will get those simple ways that you need to start singing and performing with confidence, okay? I'm going to be breaking down in a future episode the framework that I really use, the framework that I really want to be using even more to structure my lessons when it comes to helping singers who are coming back to singing again, build confidence, really focusing on confidence-centered beginner voice coaching, right? And I will break down that framework and what it is and how I'm approaching it in my voice lessons. But I would love to work with you so that you can actually take those action steps, like we were saying, so that you're not just thinking about, oh, I'd like to sing one day, but you are actually doing it. You're building that confidence in yourself as a singer and as a person. And you're taking those steps to actually grow in your singing, to actually grow vocally. Go to creativelybyestelle.com to learn more. You can also just schedule at the link below where it says schedule an online singing lesson with me. Just go ahead and click that and schedule. I have open dates for the month of August, but they're only two, like for now, they're only a couple days of the week that I have opportunities and slots to coach. And a lot of them are already filling up for this, like this week, coming week, and the next week. I'm pretty sure they're all booked, maybe. So go and check and see if there are any openings. Be sure to book one as soon as possible because there are just few and far between spots that are still open. So I want you to get in there and get that lesson and get started, okay? I really, really can't wait to see you taking that initiative to start singing, to start building confidence in your singing voice. And I can't wait to be there with you. All right. Now, without further ado, let's get into this interview with Tallis, all about helping you pivot in your creative path and start dancing and singing and performing again. Let's get into it. A lot of people who are listening, whether they're wanting to start acting again or do theater again or start dancing again, or start singing again, they have this they have this curiosity, they have this interest, this love for the arts. And sometimes well, I can speak from personal experience from when I was starting back, and I grew up in the arts myself, and I was singing and dancing a little bit throughout college. But then after college, I was like, okay, I'm not really sure where this fits into my life anymore. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it professionally, even though I felt like God was calling me towards it. But I was so full of doubt and stuck in fear. And like COVID happened and I was stuck in even more fear. And I went like a completely different path. And then like coming back to it and deciding to do it professionally, I came back to it just for fun before I started to do it professionally. But I think the idea of like switching over or like transitioning, not everyone listening wants to do this as a career, but I know that you have this background of like having worked in corporate and then transitioning to dancing and teaching dance. So if anyone is curious about like that whole transition of like going from one field that is not super creative to like, okay, like I'm going to step into this creative field, whether it's part-time, full-time, whether it's as a just a fun side hustle or an outlet. That transition of stepping from like non-creative field to then wanting to start acting, wanting to start dancing, if they're wanting to start singing, how, like, what are some of the things that you see in that transition that you've seen for yourself that have maybe been challenging, or any advice, words of advice that you would give to anyone who's like, oh, I'm kind of scared, but I might want to like transition into actually doing this like as a career or as a side hustle or something?
Well, I think that it's creativity is a muscle, right? We
Mm-hmm.
can we can strengthen it and it feels safer. And it's also a good way to like vet that specific desire, whether it's to sing or to dance or to become an artist, like I don't know, open up a t-shirt print shop, anything like that. I think flexing that muscle in practice, more from a hobby mindset to see if that's something that you actually love doing,
Mm-hmm.
is a great way to start, because then it allows you to like have the safety of your existing life and play a little bit before you've just completely jumped. I'm maybe not the best person to ask because I like to just like jump, like free fall with major stuff like that. I just talked about how I can
Yes,
be a little bit analysis paralysis, but also if I know I want to do something, I'm like, let's just go.
I'm the
Um,
same way.
yeah. But yeah, I think, even with Arise, I started in 2020. Um, right in the middle of the pandemic. And it really didn't become like its own uh, business. It has become, I've structured it like there's a revenue stream through it and all that. It took a good year because it wasn't about that. like I truly needed something in my life to just be a passion project and to evolve itself without me trying to make it be something. And then as more women started coming and more women started saying, "Can we pay you for this? Like this feels like this." Or can you give us a little more of that? I was like, oh, I just kind of waited for it to structure itself around the need. And then that grew. And then the podcast, so the podcast is a way for me to talk about Arise and what I'm doing. But as I look back, I'm glad that I let that evolve naturally as a passion, and then become something that I can use to create a revenue stream, and then maybe step away from other things in my life. I didn't try to force it from the beginning, and I know that if I had, I would have squandered what God wanted to do through it.
That's really good advice. Thank you for sharing that. I think I needed to hear that too. Just again, that letting go and just letting it be fun, letting it be play, and just going where your curiosity takes you kind of, and going from there. That's so
Yeah.
good. Well, you mentioned like people asking about, wanting to pay you for this and that. So what are some of the programs that you're offering? Like what are some things coming up for anyone who might be curious about Arise and wanting to try a class or anything like that? What are some of the things that you offer? I'd love for people to know. And I'd like to know
Oh, yeah.
myself.
Yeah. So I'm currently in the process of ending an 8-week session. So it's a course. It's all offered online, Zoom, but you can do the live sessions or you can get the video replay. So it's an 8-week course where we're growing through. Where the subject right now is shine like diamonds, glitter like gold, and we're talking about growing through hard things, right? No pressure, no diamonds. So we're talking all about that. And so that will wrap up. And then I'm going to be in August opening up the video library to anybody. So it'll be almost like a subscription that you can access all of the Arise videos. So shine like diamonds, glitter like gold, my other stuff that we've done in the past. And it would be like video on demand. You can do Arise every day if you want to. And then my next course, which is going to be like a smaller group of women that will commit to 8 weeks, is going to be Count It All Joy. And we'll do that leading up to the Thanksgiving season this fall. So I'm really excited. You can go to whenwearise.com to find out about all of that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. That sounds amazing. I love the shine like diamonds, glitter like gold
Yeah.
concept. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing everything that you shared. I want people to go and find you. Is there anywhere else that you'd like for people to go to find you and connect with you?
Going to the website is the best place to find all of the information. So I would say, yeah, just going to whenwearise.com. You can also listen to the When We Arise podcast, anywhere you get your podcasts as well, where I talk about the program, but I also just talk about what it means to arise and just do big things. So,
Amazing. I'll link
yeah.
everything below. And my last question that I ask all my guests is my favorite. So if you are, thinking about the artist or the aspiring artist who's listening to this and they want to start dancing, they want to wake, dance, praise, which is your tagline on your podcast. They want to start singing and performing or just exploring the arts. And they're just wanting to get started again or for the first time, but probably again, as an adult. What would it's just like one word of advice that you would like to leave them with for how to actually get started?
One word.
One word of advice. It doesn't have to be one word, but like one last thing that you'd say.
Yeah, find a good playlist. I mean, even if you're not, if even if you have no desire to dance, music is so powerful. And I do have a playlist that I add to weekly called When We Arise, the playlist. You can find that on Spotify, but just, music can unlock so much creativity in us and inspiration. And so I would say, yeah, find a good playlist and listen to it, talk to God. He'll get you where you need to go.
I've never heard that. That's very practical. I love that. It's something that anyone can do right now and just
Yeah.
get started with that, feeling that inspiration, to be creative. So thank you so much for sharing that and for sharing your
Yeah.
story and everything you're doing. I'm so excited for everyone to hear this. And thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Estelle. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a joy.
Yay. Thank you so, so much for listening to today's episode and to this show. I'm in awe of you for being here and showing up for your creative gifts. That takes courage. Don't forget to join the performing arts community on Facebook to find support and inspiration. If this episode helped you or inspired you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. It means so much. And share it with someone who needs it. Or on your Instagram stories and tag at Creatively Performing Arts. Don't forget to subscribe to this show wherever you listen. We have amazing interviews and episodes coming up. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep singing, acting, dancing, performing, and living creatively. Talk to you next time.